guys, welcome to this messy bun. So it's the end of October, and for us in Oklahoma that means Mother Nature has gone through all 4 seasons already. Most recently fall has really kicked in because it's getting really cold out. So because of that, we're going into our soup season. So today we are making a Italian sausage and spinach red potato soup, which is really yummy and healthier. It's a healthier version of potato soup because typically potato soup is loaded with cheese and tons and tons of milk or heavy cream or something. So we're going to use a little bit of heavy cream, but it's not going to be a lot, just enough to kind of smooth it out and give that like velvety richness. So yeah, this is going to be a healthier version of potato soup, which I'm really excited about. It also has spinach in it, which makes it a little healthier as well. Because I was reading today that potatoes are the most consumed vegetable by Americans. And it was like 110 pounds of potatoes per person that we consume in America. That's crazy, that's a lot. So I like to say that potato soup is like the gateway soup. Because if you think that you don't like soup, or if you think of soup and you just think of like corn chowder or split pea or something that's super vegetable-y, like this is a good start. It's a good way to go. And it's one of my family favorites. Like my daughter, she loves the soup. She asks for it all the time, like all year round. She could eat it probably like once a week and be cool with it. So what we're gonna start with is mild Italian sausage. You can certainly do spicy if you want to, but because we are gonna do crushed red pepper and sausage kind of already has that spiciness to it, we're doing mild. So in a large pan or Dutch oven, whatever you have, we're gonna start to get that browned. So I have it on medium high and I'm just gonna start to kind of crumble it. We're just gonna keep building flavor to that. So once it gets about halfway cooked and starts to brown, we're gonna add a whole yellow onion that I diced up, 3 cloves of garlic, we'll add that, and then we'll let that finish cooking, and then we'll continue to build our flavor. So it's gonna be really good. I'm excited. The other thing I like about this soup too is that we're just gonna use the one pan, the one pot. So it makes cleanup super easy because I hate doing dishes. It's like my nemesis. Like I really hate dishes. And I don't know why. I feel like my 2 children go through all the silverware and like every cup and plate that we own in a day. But I mean, obviously they don't, but I feel like that when we do dishes. The sausage is browning pretty nicely, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in my onion and garlic. And I didn't add any extra oil because the sausage is going to release fat. And also with this pan, I don't really need it, but if you feel like it's starting to stick or your garlic is starting to burn, definitely add just a little bit of oil to help the process. So the Italian sausage is browning, it's almost done. So next we'll do our potatoes and our seasoning. For the potatoes, we are doing our red potato. Red potatoes are healthy. They have lots of vitamins in it, a lot of good potassium, and also I like the texture and it stands up to soup. It doesn't, like with potatoes, they'll start to overcook and just kind of break down and get mushy, but these potatoes will not. When you are cutting them, first of all you want about a pound, so like 7 to 9 depending on the size of your potatoes, and you want them to be a little bit bigger than bite size so they don't break down a bunch. Okay, so our sausage is brown, so we're gonna go ahead and add our potatoes to that. We are also going to do a bay leaf, a tablespoon of dried oregano, and half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flake. If you don't want that, then you can just omit it. You don't have to have it. Admit it. Omit it. And salt and pepper, didn't forget this time. Okay, so to that I'm going to do 4 cups of chicken broth, also gonna bring it up to high too. Okay, and then we're also gonna do a cup of chicken stock. You can do, you know, just 5 cups of chicken broth if you want, but the stock is just gonna kind of enhance it, give it like a little bit of a rich, hearty flavor that I think goes well with the soup. Stock is usually used for stews, something that's gonna take a while to cook. The difference between stock and broth, if you didn't know, is stock is made with the bone of the chicken. They're both made with vegetables, but one has bone and one doesn't. All right, so we're gonna just kind of mix that and let it come to a boil. And then we'll let it cook for about 10 minutes or so. Probably reduce it to a medium so it's not getting too fast, too furious on us. And then we'll add the spinach and then we'll add the heavy cream and then we'll be done. Like, it's so easy, super fast, not a whole lot of ingredients. Tons of flavor though, it's really, really yummy. Okay, so our potatoes have been cooking for 10 minutes. So we're ready for our next step in making the soup and building the flavor. Our friend Mr. Bay Leaf has popped up here. So I'm going to grab that now while I see him. Because sometimes you're like digging through, because no one wants to eat that. Like, don't get a bite of just the bay leaf, that will be way too strong. But it's, you're just like searching for, find the missing bay leaf. So while I was there, picked it out. Okay, so good trick to tell if your potatoes are about ready. Just taking a fork and kind of just touching it, and if the fork goes in nicely, then we're close. And because we still need to add the rest of our ingredients, we're gonna go ahead and start doing that now so the potatoes don't overcook. So next what we're gonna do is add 3 cups of spinach. It seems like a lot, but it's really not because the spinach is gonna wilt down. And this is a really good, hello, there it is. And this is a really good way to kind of hide green vegetables. Not really hiding them because they're there, but maybe introducing it differently than what you normally would do. So if you're a picky eater, or if your family's picky, trying something new. So we're just gonna let that go for about 2 minutes or so until the spinach is all nicely wilted. All right, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna add in a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Oh yeah, magic is happening. Smells so good. And yeah, at that point you're pretty much ready to eat. You just have to kind of let it warm up a little bit, let the cream warm up, but that's it. All right. It smells, oh, it smells so good. Can't be mad at that. This looks and smells so amazing. I cannot wait to taste it. Can I get everything in here? It's gonna be one messy bite, that's for sure. The soup is so good. It's not a lot of ingredients, right? Just a couple. But the ingredients that are in here are so amazing and they work so perfectly together. The one thing I thought about today that it needs is like a crunch element. And since I didn't have bread or crostini or anything like that to do, I thought about doing croutons. So I'm gonna add a couple because I really think that that's really gonna help out and just make it even more delicious. So let's see if I'm right. Yeah, the croutons really just kind of bring everything full circle, and you need that. I mean, a nice crusty bread is perfect with soup. Dip it, dunk it, whatever. So good. But the soup is amazing. Like, I really hope you guys try it. It's something different. Italian sausage, it's mild, so it's not super spicy. Again, you can go spicy if you want to. The potatoes, the spinach, the cream, the seasoning we used, oh my gosh, it's so good. Definitely gonna warm your belly and feed your soul maybe a little bit. Like, I'm not a big soup eater and I love this soup. I love it. My kids love it. So yeah, definitely make it. But the recipe will be in the link in the description where you can go to my blog and get this recipe. And thanks for hanging out. If you like us, like it, subscribe, comment. It really would mean a lot to me. Like, I'm so grateful for you guys for all being here. And then just make sure you guys also stay tuned for the wine pairing too, because it's gonna be a good one. All right, stay messy. Thanks guys, thanks for hanging out. Make this soup so good. I love it. Love it. Just don't burn your mouth, because that sucks. So good. To some, pairing a Cabernet with a potato soup may seem like a stretch. However, this sausage spinach potato soup paired perfectly with a 2018 Cabernet by Robert Mondovi. This particular cab is a private selection, bourbon barrel aged, and it shows. The depth of flavor includes notes of brown sugar, blackberry, coffee, and smoke. The tannins allows for a lingering finish. The aromas and acidity complement the soup perfectly for a well-rounded sip and bite. So go ahead, stretch the imagination. Your palate will thank you. You can find this affordable wine in most marketplaces, as well as online on sites such as wine.com.